Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a haul video showing some crafting supplies and decks that I bought within the last couple of mm, weeks. I also have works in progress that I'll show. If you've seen the last video, I have been visiting my godmother more frequently because she has my cats. And there is a yarn store that's in that area that I've never been to before, is interested in seeing the spinning wheel and bloom supplies. I wanted to see the yarn as well. I was blown away when I saw that she had Plotalopi. It was important for me to feel the yarn and see how I would react to the yarn too, because last year I bought myself a birthday gift, the New to Den Unspun. I love the concept of it, but I sneeze a lot when I have it near me. So I'm thinking maybe I would spin it up and then wash it. But it's in storage right now, so I'll look more into it and think about the things that I might want to do. I was also pleased because the store has Jameson, and the Jameson yarn has been a little bit of a journey. I was gifted um, quite a bit of Jameson, but I didn't use it for a long time. I feel like I love when I knit it with the Chiagu needles. I also love the Knitter's Pride Ginger Shorties, as I talked about in lots of other videos too. Um, but I've been getting more into the stainless steel needles because I tend to knit for a long time, and sometimes I can be a little hard on my needles. So this is the bag that it came in, or that it comes in. I would like to try the Plotalopi, and one of the knitwear designers that I've tested with tested for a couple of times is going to come out with more patterns to test. So I am thinking I will be using the Plotalopi. I would like to try it. Um, and I do have a lot of yarn in storage, but I have some on me. So I'll see. And I'm sorry it's a couple minutes in and I haven't shown what I purchased. You may have seen it in the log video that I did. So this is the Shetland Spindrift, and the colorways are Royal and Cornfield. I also took the video because I wanted to reference it when I think about other projects that I want to do, and so when I get there I have an idea of what I'm looking for. And I really wanted to see the fiber for the spinning wheel. So for this project, or for this yarn, these yarns, I have a project in mind. I'll pull it up. So they're mittens, and it's a free pattern. I may modify it, or I may get more yarn, because it was saying it was calling for 50 grams per color. But these for the mittens. And then the backs, I will only put the Pray for Ukraine on them. They're going on my shop. A little slow progress with that. Um, it takes me a while to do stuff, I'm sorry. So, if I was using the Jameson and Smith, the real Shetland wool, I've had it for a while, so it is faded where it has the colors way. But I've shown this one before. I have to wash and relax the yarn, and then I'll add the button because I did buy buttons, which is surprising for me. I bought a bunch of buttons because they had some buttons on sale, not at the yard store. But this is a pouch that I'm going to give to a patient, and the buttons that I had for the project I put in storage, which is why I haven't gifted it yet, because I was thinking maybe I would have found it by now, but I have not. It's okay, because I do have a go-to button, and I saw it, and I went for it. Sorry, my hair is wet, so I'm not really touching it because it would stain my nails. But um, this is mine. So I made the blue as the main color and then the yellow as the contrast color. And I love the way that's turning out. I wanted to make mine because I wanted another Terra bag. And I have the deck in mind for that one in my Emma Ball bag that has the sheep and alpaca. So for the buttons, I just put it in the same bag because I wandered for a couple of hours before actually getting to the house. They were just kind of shopping. But then I went over to the house, and then the next day, that's when I went to the yarn store before I left to go back here. So I got a travel sewing kit because I I also have the sewing stuff in storage too. And this is all from Walmart because it was the only thing that was open by the time I needed I needed to go to a store to get some like supplies, when I'm staying over there. So these are my go-to. I got two of these. They were regular price. I've used them on other projects. Tarot bags being one of them. A tarot bag being one of them. So I'll actually put one in my bag with the sewing kit, and I could put it on there when I'm on break. This is also my work project. I have a call with one of the people of the immigration agency that I work with for it's the career advisor. And then this Saturday I have to take the English test that's mandatory for people immigrating to the UK. So there's a speaking test and then there's a computer test that I had to take. Um, so it's just getting like what is it? A 5.5. I hope I'm getting the system correct. Um, which isn't it would just be a standard. So the ones that were on sale, I got two of these larger buttons, but I feel like they would be nice for a bulky knitted garment. They have leaves on them, and I thought that they would be useful. I get like two of them because I like to use like 10 buttons for my cardigans, and the bags come with 8. So if anything, at the leftover buttons I could use for like a bag or another project or something bigger than a tarot bag. Because there's this other bag that I wanted to knit up too, but I'm trying to get through my projects because just me rambling on. I have that colorwork advent calendar scarf that I got after the holidays. Um, I really want to get back into that. I love that one. There's also the loom that has my Christmas work in progress that I honestly don't feel like working on anymore because I want to work on something else on there that's not kind of holiday related, even though you can wear it like aside from the holidays, it still just reminds me of like Christmas and stuff. So I'm like 3/4 into it, and I'm trying to just, well, I haven't been trying because I haven't worked on it, but I would like to finish that one too, and then warp the next one because I have two other ideas I wanted to do. I wanted to weave a scarf with my hand spun, and then weave a scarf that has like gemstone colors, which I have talked about. Like the warm type of really colorful type of scarf that's not like super bright. Um, and I haven't been able to do that. I almost kind of feel like I want to get another loom at some point, but I wanted to get a floor loom when I get there. I saw my Kelly Blue Book estimated price for my car, the 2018 RAV4, and the stuff has been updated. I'm not trying to advertise, but I got the wheels done, what, 2 years ago, and then, well, they were replaced with new tires. I got my battery done 2 years ago. My brakes done this year, and everything else is like up to date on it. It is it's a good car. So the other buttons that I got, these were on sale. I just felt like, I don't want to say, well, they were buttons that I felt like I could use them or something. The pattern or the holes kind of remind me of honeycombs. And I don't mind the shade of wood on here, or that it's made out of. I got these as a little bit of a treat. They weren't so expensive. They weren't expensive, but I got 3 of them because they're 4 per um, grouping. So I've been knitting a lot with blue And I just um, felt like this nautical like shell button would be really nice. And being from the east, the northeast, it kind of seems a little fitting because we're definitely like the shore area, and it just kind of reminds me of those things. So those were the crafty things, and then I'll show my other work in progress. I've shown this in the video that I was doing the autumn mark, and it took me a little bit to get through one of the increase rounds, since the increase round was a round that didn't have the contrast color, so I don't usually mark them if there's a contrast color. But since it's like you have a certain amount of repeats, I'll just say 16. It's not 16, but I don't want to give the pattern away. And per repeat, there's two increases. So every other increase, I marked it just to make sure that I know that each round I increase twice. And then I counted them just because, like, I don't want to go back to make sure that I don't want to go back if I miscounted or something. And it's easier to identify where I increased that way. So you can count how many stitches were in that repeat. But this is what I have. Before, I just had the main color with the short rows. And this is what it looks like now. It's a cotton crop sweater. It'll be cropped like here, and then I'll wear like a skirt or something with it. So it's not really showing the yellow, but it is on the paler side. It's not like neon. And then the back here. I'm enjoying it. The yarn is different. This is like the premier yarn that I got at the dollar store. It's like the cotton yarn because I look at the percentage of the material that it consists of, because I wanted it to be breathable, and um, it's a good price for it. So I really enjoy working with this Premier cotton, and it has some polyester in it too, but the main thing is that it's 85% cotton. It just has a nice drape to it, and it's nice when you're knitting it and it's cold. This other one, I've knit with it before. The um it's not the most forgiving on your hands, I would say, but it is what the yarn is. I'm pretty indifferent about it. I just had to be mindful of it because it is like a stiffer type of yarn, and it's the peaches and cream because they didn't have a yellow when I was there when I got the turquoise. They call it a turquoise. And now I'll show the decks. I got a backup deck because I tend to do that when I know that I use the deck a lot. So I went to East Meets West. They have that store in their malls, and it comes in this bag, which is fun. Right place in the universe, everything comes together. Oh, so when you're in the right place in the universe, everything comes together. I got a backup of the Universal Folk Tarot because since it's not available in most stores that I've been to, this is the only store that I've seen it in. I didn't want to buy it online and pay for the shipping. So it is. I love the deck. Then so I said I'm from the Northeast, and when I saw that there was a deck with like the Northeast lore of Sleepy Hollow, I was like, I feel like that would be something that I would read with. So this is the back. I am thinking about trimming the deck. I'm still thinking about it because the borders are bigger and it's hit or I don't want to say it's I don't mind borders on some of the decks, and I'm thinking some of the cards in here with the white border, it might help because like there's some cards that are like in the woods or at night, and I feel like that could be a reason why it has the white borders. It seems a little definitely like a fall type of deck, but I've been using it, and the main thing was like there's a spinning wheel that I showed that I was just like, oh, the deck has a spinning wheel. Um, and I like how it has a little bit of a spin off. It's not so it is traditional, and yet there's more to the deck. You'll see it has some historical references and see like the uniforms from the Revolutionary War in here too. So one of these cards, like it tends to be dark. It's showing up brighter on the screen. So I would have to see. And then that's the lore of it. One of the main things that you would see, well, you would have, that you would know about the Sleepy Hollow, and this one too. So the cards are just ones that I feel like I get along with, so I feel that it'll be good to work with. And the first impressions when I was reading it with it, like the first couple of cards that I pulled out, it was pretty, um, it was a nice pace for steady and quick with the responses. Oh, autumn in the Northeast. Is it just one of my favorite things? If I wasn't moving overseas, this I would be in New England. So the other deck that I got, uh, it's one that has been out for a long time. You can definitely tell it's a newer version of it, but um, I didn't have anything like any huge opinions about the deck. I just didn't get the deck because I tend to lean more towards fairy decks and more of like I like the folk type of style decks. Those are the main ones that I gravitate towards, like earthy. I have a lot of Celtic ones, but it's been switching up a little bit now that I've been doing like these specific readings. So I felt that for this, or not this deck, but this deck would be beneficial for that too. Because I think it can help the audience get more of an understanding about decks. And maybe they want to read what it says. Maybe if they're a little weary about them, it can give more perspective. And I suppose a different way of saying it, but it's the Angel Tarot cards. And as you can see, they have the writing at the bottom, which I don't mind. I'll use them for specific things. I like to use them for my daily messages where I have my phone and then you could see the cards. So then you can just read off of it. I'm not sure if it's showing the pictures, but it's fun. I like to take some of the meaning, like if I see a sentence that or a part of the card that's meaning relates to what I am reading, then I'll mention it. I did want to get a backup of the Slavic legends. The only thing was with the the shipping was so cheap. It was only $5, which I was like surprised, and it came like within, the 2 weeks that it usually comes for me, which is steady, especially when it's $5. Um, but since I don't live in my apartment anymore, I was thinking maybe to send it to my parents. Parents, they're away right now, but I'd have to see because last time when I had it shipped to me, they asked me to go to the post office and sign for it. Or they wanted me to sign for it initially to get the package, and then I was at work, so I didn't get to sign for it, and so I went to the post office and I picked it up. So, and they asked for my ID to make sure that I had the matching address and stuff. So I might change the name on it, so if they have to get a signature, they can, or I could just wait till I move. That's fine too. Ooh, but I really love that deck. I don't have backups for a lot of decks, but I just, oh, no. So I got 14 Balance Archangel Sakiel. A need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. And it just made me think a little bit. Um, just because when I was reading it, the grandparents' energy came, because sometimes they come and go, especially the grandfather energy. So those were the things that I bought. Um, and then the world is at the bottom with Archangel Michael, a job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, a path toward enlightenment. Um, and then 14 being temperance. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.